Um, it may depend to a certain extent on what capacity I'm serving in, meaning what sort of leadership roles I may have that would force me to have a broader perspective than just my own. But speaking for myself, I'm a tax and fiscal policy guy. I was sad that the governor vetoed a scaled down version of the recommendations that you and others spent months putting together during the last fall and into the winter. I will reintroduce that again and hope that the next governor will take a fonder view of that. I was particularly frustrated because we created other new tax cuts that impact, in general, larger businesses, which is fine if they make sense, but then we didn't preserve one that is already on the books for small businesses. And I think there's a likelihood that the feds are going to do something that will then make us out of compliance with them and less generous than them. Now that remains to be seen, but regardless, it would have been good for small business. So I want to push that effort again. I do want to look at broadening beyond just income taxes, which that related to look at the entire tax structure, the three pillars, including the three that we talked about a moment ago: sales, income, and property. And then I think there's always ways we can improve education. You know, education's a tough one. There's a litany of different ideas, whether it's just more money solves the problem to performance-based funding, and there's different ideas. But I do think that we need to overall get away from just seat time, and we do need to emphasize outcomes instead of inputs. I'm more conservative, and so I'm reluctant to just start dumping money into something unless I know if you do this, if you allocate this, here's going to be the outcome. I think a lot of my colleagues would be willing to invest more in education if we saw some correlation between the dollars and the outcomes, which you don't. The United States spends thousands of dollars more per student than any other country, and yet we keep hearing about how much better other countries are doing. So it must not be a function of resources by itself. So, tax and fiscal policy, education, those would be my priorities.